welcome back to ASMR Money Mentor. To anchor back to my last episode tonight, we are going to be talking about my 3 favorite simple systems for financial freedom. These are going to be actionable items and easy steps that you can implement right now. So stay to the end, give me a thumbs up, and subscribe if you have not done so. My name is Evan Thomas. I am the host of ASMR Money Mentor. I like to help people do really great things with their money, especially young people. I like to wake you up to your potential with money over time. But don't fall asleep right now. I want you to continue to be awake for this episode. ASMR format. Maybe I should do some scribbles. What do you think? Maybe you like jacket sounds. Or my hat. Or maybe whispers. I don't know. Maybe you're here just to hear me ramble and talk about money. But anyway, I am so glad you were here. Let's go ahead and get started. What is the focus of our video tonight? Well, again, this will be practical, high-value steps for budgeting, saving, tracking your money. This is the mechanical side of the approach. My previous episode was about the psychology. Tonight is more about the steps, the system. Because financial freedom doesn't come from complexity. No. Some of you may think that personal finance is complex. I sure did when I was younger. I thought there's so many things to learn. It seemed so complex. But it doesn't come from complexity. It comes from systems that run quietly in the background. These aren't hacks per se. These aren't even really optimized. These are simple systems that you can put into place, like I said, like right now, this year, when you are ready, if you have not done so. So what do we have for number 1? Tap, 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 tap. Number 1. I like to refer to this as the spend from one place system. Spend from one place system. Like right now, you guys should already know how to build a budget. I hope you do. I know there's some of you that may not know how to do that yet. Go to my playlist and I talk about budgeting. I want all of you to raise up and look down at your financial year. We're in the beginning of the year, so you can look at 12 months. Just don't look at 1 week or 1 month. You're going to look at 12 months. You're going to know how much money's coming in, how much is going out for your expenses. That means you're surviving if it nets to 0. If there's anything left over, you are thriving, which means you can save and invest. If you're not there yet, it might take a year or 2. It did for me. So just relax. Make more money next year. But it will eventually happen. And what I encourage new people to do is treat your checking account, also known as a spending account, by the way, as a place where money is going to flow into the checking account temporarily. It's a temporary holding tank, and that's it. And I know some of you are money going into the checking account. Like your paychecks, right? Maybe you get a bonus, whatever. And it's in your checking account and you just keep spending all month, right? You pay your rent or your mortgage and your groceries and your electric. And then towards the end of the month, you're like, oh wow, I still have money left over that I can spend. So in your mind, you're thinking, I've got money coming into my checking account and I'm going to spend it to zero and then I'm going to get more money next month. No. That's not the way you should be thinking. Again, you're going to raise up. You're going to know in advance of the year coming whether you believe in the calendar year approach. Again, we're at the beginning of the year, so you can do that. Or a fiscal year approach, which means maybe you don't start until June. Well, you start then, right? So, again, most people have money in their checking account and they spend it down to zero. Big mistake. I want you guys to treat your checking account again as a temporary holding tank. It's a container for in and out. Money comes in, but it's going to go out within a day or two. Why? Because you're going to take all of your expenses for that month. You're going to write them down. Rent, electric, food, gas, insurance, whatever. And you're going to know exactly what that dollar amount. For me, it's sometimes $800, somewhere in there. My expenses are super low. And you're going to nail down that number. What if it's $800.23? Whatever. That's what you're going to transfer from your savings. I know many of you don't even have a savings account. You can get it at Ally Bank, maybe your credit union. Check it out. Find out what is the interest rate. That's where you want your money going, right? Even though your employer may put the money into the checking account, you're going to move it to savings. Then you're going to move it back to checking once you nail down that exact number. Makes sense? You don't want money sitting in a checking account. Why? Because it's not earning any interest. Don't be silly. You're going to bring it in and it's going to go out. It's a wash. It's going to be a net to zero. You're only going to keep like $5 in that checking account, okay? It's a pass-through. By having this spend from one place system, you're reducing your decision fatigue, because if you've got all your money in your checking account, you're paying your bills and you're like, how much money do I really have? You haven't, again, raised up and looked down over your 12 months. So you've got to do that. It's fun. Make it fun. And you'll know exactly how much to bring in and how much to sweep out of that account. You're going to change your mindset. Number 2, for my 3 favorite, very simple systems to help with financial freedom. The pay yourself first automatically system. Let's say it together, shall we? The pay it yourself first automatic system. Lots of new people, when they learn about money, they do not do this. They're not automatically saving or investing. So let me give you some examples. Maybe some of you are working on an emergency fund. An emergency fund should be maybe 8 months of your minimal critical expenses. Not cable for your television. Not stupid little things like that. But what is most critical? Like if you lose your job. If you're 35 years old right now, you might lose your job. If you're 40. So if you lose your job, you would want to look at your budget and say, if I reduce it down to the minimal expenses, multiply that by 5 or 8, get a number, and that's what you should hold. Because again, if you lose your job, then you have that money set aside so you don't have to go into your investments if you have those, okay? Everybody knows this, but I just have to reemphasize it. So, for those of you, again, that are super young and you're still learning, you're going to automatically transfer whatever you can into that account until it gets to that number. Let's say that number is $8,000 or whatever. You finally get to that number and then you can relax. Now, it might be that you want to buffer it just a little bit more for other things that you may need, right? So you should have money items on your radar, things that you know that are earmarked that might be coming up. You might need new tires for your car, etc. So not only are you padding it for the expenses, like the recurring expenses, but also a little bit more for those things that pop up that you may have to pay. So pay yourself first. Now again, for those of you that are new, I love that many of you have watched my episode, Spending Your Money in Advance. What that means is, if you don't do this already, you need to be super proactive. You need to know, again, how much money you have coming in and what your expenses are. You're going to nail it down. You're going to be honest with yourself and say, this is my situation right now. This is how much money I have. This is how much money I have to spend. And you spend it in advance on your Excel spreadsheet. And then when you actually spend it for real, you deduct it from the Excel spreadsheet. If you have to borrow money from other buckets, you can do so. Okay? So, number 2 then for simple systems for financial freedom is paying yourself first. So I gave the example of the emergency fund. Some of you may have that already. So you are probably putting money into your 401k if you're in the United States, and if you have a 401k. You're backing in, hopefully, to the percent from your paycheck to get to, hopefully, the total dollar amount that you can put in for the year. I don't typically say how much you can put in because people watch these episodes in previous or future years. So just Google it. You can figure out, oh wow, you can put X amount of dollars in that account. Is it possible based on your budget? If not, that's okay. You wait a little while. A few years later, maybe that'll be possible. You may also have a Roth IRA. You put money there. What is the dollar amount? Will it work? Can you put that much in for the year? Maybe, maybe not. But you are putting in automatic investments per month. I remember for years I was putting in $416 into my Roth IRA. That's $5,000 per year. It's more now. But you want to automate it at some company like Vanguard, Fidelity, other companies that are out there, and you just live your life, right? Automate it is going to help you get to financial freedom. That is number 2. And before I go on to number 3, looks like I have a few more things to say based on my little notes. The key point that we just talked about is you don't save what's left in your checking account. That's ridiculous, right? You live on what's left after you've saved it. See, that's a very big difference. Most people save what's left at the end of the month. Nope, that's not you. You're going to live on what's left after the saving, and you only know by looking at 12 months what is actually possible. It's process of elimination. You add up your expenses. I have a whole video on this, like how to get to your savings rate. You may want to go watch that. So you're going to be a proactive thinker. You're going to build that budget, the 12 months that we talked about. You already have the blueprint. You've mapped your money in advance of spending it. You're always 12 months ahead of your money. Okay, moving on to the third simple system for tonight's episode is what I like to refer to as the simple tracking low noise system. The simple tracking no noise So, based on what I said on the last item, I do track every single dollar. I know, I'm kind of a money nerd. But I think everybody should, otherwise you're gonna lose yourself. You're gonna lose yourself in money if you don't track every single dollar. You're gonna use your spreadsheet, you're gonna deduct it, you're gonna save it, you're gonna know exactly how much you have left as you spend it. You're gonna be aware of that bigger picture. But as far as tracking, I also want you to track things like your account balances every month. Whether that be you're getting out of debt and you're watching your debt go down, or you're tracking your emergency fund and you're watching the balance go up, or you're looking at your investments. I track everything. Every month I write it down and I want to see what is the actual, for my investments, the unrealized gain. Because I'm not really saving and investing anymore. You guys know I retired about a year ago. So when you retire, you have no more income per se, right? And you're looking at your money and you're playing this game of, oh wow, I had all of this gain for the year, but I only spent X. So last year, the gain was approximately $200,000, but I spent $40,000. So that means I had about $160 left over in the unrealized portion, right? Does that make sense? So that's when you start seeing that this simple tracking mechanism is good for you. And when you're building your wealth, you're tracking it and you're building that engine as you go. So let's think about closing tonight's episode. If you're still awake, my friends, which I hope you are, what's in it for you? What is the wisdom of tonight's episode? Financial freedom comes from applying these very, very simple systems. It's not rocket science, right? Anybody can do this. You just need dedication and commitment. And in my next video, I'm going to be showing you how I think about investing. So, from a high level, what you can incorporate if you have not started investing. And so, until then, my friends, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you guys being here. I believe in you, and I congratulate you for every step of the way. So if you like content like this, give me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you guys have not done so. And I will see